527, runway 8 kilo, you're cleared for takeoff.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for clicking on another video from the WingMan crew. My name is Nate Hibbert, and today we're going to be doing a 10-minute listing. This is a series that I've done before on the channel that we got away from a little bit as we're talking about plans for next year, and we have a couple of videos coming out the next couple of weeks that are going to be talking about our plans and goal setting and those types of things. Both me and Steven should be on some of those videos. But before we get into those videos, I wanted to make another video providing some actionable content. I think that's the thing that makes me the happiest, and when I'm watching other YouTubers, I like to see stuff that I can actually go out and do. And you know, while the other videos we're putting out are going to be great, I want to make sure that we're still providing you guys some value that you can actually use inside of your business today. And like I said, this was a series of videos that I was doing a couple of months ago. I was almost doing one a week back then, and Steven has been so nice to put those all in a playlist. And my 1% better for YouTube this week, little editor's note, is to actually start using the cards. I think they're up on this side. If I'm wrong, then I'll look like a fool, but I'll know better for next time that they're on the other side. So that's the thing I'm doing this week to get 1% better, is to use those cards, but that's besides the point. If you guys want to be caught up on kind of where this series was at and what it was all about, definitely go watch that playlist. As you know, like I said, there's a good amount of value over there just to show you how to make listings specifically on Merch by Amazon fairly quickly and efficiently, so that you can start seeing, you know, are the customer bases that you're going after worthwhile, and is this, you know, a direction that you should be headed with your business. So we are going to be doing that today, but before we jump into some screen sharing things, I wanted to address some comments that we got with people who don't 100% agree with us that you should be taking inspiration from things that are already proven to work, and that you should only be making 100% original content. And I would just like to say that you can do both, right? You can look at what's already working out there and take inspiration from that and use that for yourself, as long as it's not trademarked. And you can also create original content. The way that we use this strategy is to find new customer bases to go after. We have several that we keep going back to, and we're happy to provide them with original ideas and original content, and that's been working out great for us for about 3 years. But it's always helpful to go after new audiences, and instead of just completely probing blindly and trying to do things without having any data to go after, we usually use Amazon as our data source, and we go there, see what's working, test it out for ourselves, and if we have success with it with the keywords that we are personally using, then we go and make this original content. So this series is not, you know, the only way to run your business. This series is not a game plan for how you scale your business to the moon. This series is to help you guys get started quickly and efficiently, and this is definitely a tactic that we used a lot when we started, and we've used it still in our business. It has its place, but it's not the only thing that we're doing. So with all that being said, let's jump into some screen sharing and show you guys how to make a listing quickly and efficiently for Merch by Amazon. Hey guys, Nate here. So I'm learning a lot of lessons today with this video. As I'm editing it, I realized that I accidentally recorded my mic twice for all the over-the-shoulder stuff, so the mic sounds pretty horrible. I was going to go back and re-record this just so that it wouldn't sound so bad, but I thought I'd leave it in just to show you guys kind of the process of getting 1% better. This is a lesson learned. It won't happen again in future, or hopefully it won't happen again in future, but I just thought I would leave that in. So I apologize for the horrible sound quality. That is actually something that's on our list of things to get 1% better at, is better mics and setup and all of those things. But I just thought I'd leave this in. If it's too hard to listen to, I do apologize. We'll be doing more of these videos in future, but I will stop making excuses. We've learned our lesson, and I'll let you guys watch that clip now. Just know that the sound is a little wonky. All right, thank you guys. Back to the video. All right, so here we are inside of Amazon. I just went to Amazon.com, and I already searched funny t-shirts because this is where we're going to be starting looking for ideas. Again, our focus here is on speed and efficiency, so we're just going to be looking for something that has some attention but not too much competition, that we can use for inspiration as we create our own design. So as I start scrolling down, I'm just looking at a lot of these shirts. Again, I've talked about this quite a bit, so please go back and watch some of our other videos that are in that playlist that are going to help you understand exactly what I'm doing here. But something notable to think of is we're going to stay away from text-based shirts, at least for this episode inside of the 10-minute listings series, because those are very easy to copy and they're hard to stand out on. So that's a horrible idea. This is a fairly new shirt that I haven't seen around too much. And so what I'm going to do is actually search this and show you guys that idea. So I'm going to go ahead and open a new tab with Amazon in here, and type in that's a horrible idea. And see, that does autofill, and even as we type that in without sure or anything, there's quite a few results, under 2,000, which would be okay for us to go after, but you're seeing that these are all text-based designs, which means it is going to be hard to stand out. Now, the layout here, there's lots of different layouts that are working. Something that's kind of cool is this one, where one part of the sentence is in one style of font, and the other part of the sentence is another style of font, which I personally like doing, and we're having some success with, but it is really hard to stand out on a landing zone that's like this. And even if we do type in a t-shirt, we're going to see the results go way down, so there's not too much competition here, but the designs get even closer to each other. So a customer that's typing this in, like Amazon has done their job. They've found products that this customer wants to wear and the exact product that this customer wants to wear, or purchase rather. But what that means is that there's not a lot of room for us to stand out. So as we start scrolling down the page, we're seeing there's basically no differentiating between these different designs. Now, some of them have color. I'm not saying they're all exactly the same, but for the most part, it's going to be pretty hard to stand out here if basically everything on the same page, or on the first page, is all the same. So going to go back to funny t-shirts results page and just keep scrolling down, looking for something that has a mixture of both text and icon or some type of graphical element, something that I like. So a lot of these, this format has been working out a lot more. I don't personally like making these designs, but it is something that is working. So let's keep scrolling. So this one I know we've done before. This is basically the format that I'm looking for. Text on top, a graphic in the middle, text on bottom, and there's several things that we can do to stand out here. This one, slightly to the right, is basically the same format, and I haven't seen this one around too much, so let's go check this out. Sorry, I have plans with my cat. So again, going back up to this other tab that we have open. Sorry, I have plans with my cat t-shirt that autofills, which is a good sign. There's not a ton of competition here, 121. It's probably a little bit higher than that, as Amazon doesn't exactly show us the amount of people competing on this same landing zone. But as we scroll down, you are seeing, yes, it's mostly text here, but there is a fair amount of variation here as well. I feel like we might have done this one in the past, so please forgive me, as it's been a while since I've done this series. But stuff like this, where there's something just completely out of the ordinary, and something that kind of breaks like the layout format and the colors that are working for the rest of them, this is a good indication that there are still customers looking for something slightly different. They don't want all the exact same thing. I have to break this down a little bit more for Steven. People may be a little bit more analytical, who don't just see all the art on this shirt, or all the art on this landing page as something different. So to show you an example of that, this one, for beginners, it has a white design on a black shirt, and on the one right next to it that's also selling fairly well, there's a black design on a lighter colored shirt. So that's some variation right there already. Now the second thing is this one has like a full photorealistic picture of a cat. Maybe I zoom in so you guys can see that a little bit better. And this one just has text and a few elements that indicate that it's a cat, but aren't telling you it's here's a picture of a cat. So there are some differences here as we look. The layouts are slightly different, the colors are slightly different. So this is a good indication to me that this is something that we can try and putting a design up here, because it's not just 100% flooded out already with everyone making the same exact design. So that's my little spiel on art. Now we're going to open up this next program, which is Spark. This was easily my favorite new addition to my tool belt in 2019. I've used it before 2019, but this year we really started to teach exactly how powerful this tool is. And it has a new look, which I'm a very big fan of. They keep making improvements to this website, which is spark.adobe.com, and it's basically a free version of a very light version of Photoshop. It in no way is the same, and it's not going to give you the creative freedom that you have with something as powerful as Photoshop, but it's going to allow you to get some jobs done. And I think for merch by Amazon, and kind of any print on demand, you can get by with this tool. Now, if this is something that frustrates you, I definitely highly suggest that you go look at Photoshop and some of the other editing softwares out there. But again, for this 10-minute listing, to keep things plain and simple and pretty straight to the point, using Spark is a great tool. Something I still use as we're in all these different areas to help our business. And anytime that I just want to get something done, Spark can definitely do that. So let me show off one thing here: the social media tips. This is kind of where their blog is at, and there's actually a lot of really good content in here. I find myself reading this about once a week, probably, from like branding wisdom to education, like all of these topics. And they have done, some case studies and full reports on these things. We've even seen some people using this to create designs for companies as big as like NASA and things, which is really cool to see what the community is doing with this tool. So just wanted to highlight that real quick. If you guys are looking for some cool blogs to read about this tool to get more inspired to understand the tool better, we also have a course on that. I guess I can link that down below. And yeah, that's living there. And that's specifically how to use this tool for Merch by Amazon, print on demand in general. And I try to add to that as much as possible. So that's my little plug for Spark. Again, just trying to cover all my bases as it's been a while since we've done one of these. But I'm going to jump into editing my post. If you guys want to see exactly how to set up a file for this, again, go either watch some of the other videos in this playlist or, it is inside of our course that we have as well. I do apologize if I'm over-explaining. It's probably going to cause this more to go over 10 minutes, but we do have a fair amount of new subscribers, so I just want to make sure, again, I'm covering all of our bases here. So this is Spark. I'm not going to explain exactly how this works. Again, we have content to show you how to do that, but I am going to add some text here, and before I do this, one thing I did forget is that I want to trademark check this very quickly. So sorry, I have plans with my cat. I'm going to right-click this and use another tool that I'll talk about very briefly, which is Tangent Test. This is a Chrome extension that allows you to right-click on a highlighted phrase and bring it into the USPTO, which is the United States Patent and Trademark Office. This is where you get to check, things if they are going to be a problem for you to use on shirts. This is like the government legal side of things. There are also things that Amazon deems as not okay to put on shirts, so definitely read their terms of service as well. But what Tangent does is, because this website is fairly confusing to use, especially if it's your first time, it gives you this nice simple area up here in the blue that tells you that you're looking for trademarks on clothing and we want this to be an exact match, and it already puts that saying in there for us. So really all we have to do is hit this search button, and we hope that we see this page, which is good. I know it says that this is an error, but actually what this means is that no one currently has a trademark out for this exact saying, so we can use it on our shirt, which is great. So I'm going to copy this, actually. Sorry, I have plans with my cat. And I'm going to paste that in here and probably split this up into two. So I'll take this first part and put with my cat. Very likely, I already do. So with my cat, so what I'm going to do, and you'll notice I already have a black background on this artboard, and it's because I always create on a black background, as black is our most popular selling t-shirt color. But what I want to do is remove this shape on here. So I'm going to remove that and turn that text actually to white, as that is a good color combination. Colors is definitely my weakest point in graphic design, but black and white has never done me wrong. So we're going to stick with that. I'm going to paste the other part of the saying up here. Sorry, I have plans with my cat will be right below it. And then one of the many reasons that I love this tool is because of the contract that they have with the Noun Project, which is a company that is providing the world with very good clip art. Sorry, as I mess with this back and forth. And so what that allows us to do is come up here and go to icons, and we get to search the Noun Project's database that Amazon is paying for us to use, which is extremely nice of them, seeing as they're not charging us anything. So what I'm going to do is type in cat, and I can even be a little bit more specific and type in cat head. And then we're going to see what types of, clip art are very simple designs that we have available to us. I'm liking this one the most. Actually, that one's a little creepy, so I'm going to switch that one. The little one down here, that also looks pretty cute. I like that one the best, so I'm going to color change this also to white and plop that right in the middle. Now, again, I know this design is not the best in the world. As a graphic designer, I want to spend all day making my designs look as perfect as they possibly can, but what the reality is we're just trying to test the market here, see if we can use keywords and phrases and get the customer's attention. So trying to do this in 10 minutes is one way of trying to do this efficiently, but there are many different strategies. This is just one that I'm trying to show you that you don't have to take all day to make one listing, as I was doing when I first started, because you're not getting a ton of data back when you're only making one listing a day. So you can spend the time here to kind of look at what's working best on this landing page. Again, just from very quickly looking at this, I saw cat heads were working extremely well with this exact saying and kind of splitting it up in this way. But you can, do a little bit of a deeper dive, find colors and the exact layout that you want to use and the exact type of imagery. But we're trying to show you how to do this quickly and efficiently, as I keep saying that as a reminder. So it also for myself, so I can just keep moving forward this, because I do want to break down every single step, but that will be a 2-hour video. And we can do that in future if that's something you guys want, teaching more on this. We actually have partnered with a couple of people who we plan to have show you guys that, as they're just a little bit better at going through these things slower and more detailed oriented. So the last thing I want to do to this design is just change this font. I'm not a big fan of that font, so I usually use this one, as it's just big, bold, and it's very straightforward to the point, letting the customers know what they're getting. And again, you have to remember that you're designing not just for people wearing this design, but people looking for designs on Amazon, which a large percentage of the time can be on their phone. So we want to make sure that it's just bold, clear, and to the point with these designs. So I'm going to change this also to that other font that I like. Spread it out, make it look good. We can actually do it like that. I'm actually going to move this down, make it 2 tiers. I know I'm focusing on speed, but I am a designer at heart, so it's hard for me to leave things alone, okay? All right, there we go. We're going to call that good for now, fix the spacing a little bit, and what we are going to do is download this as a PNG. We're going to hit start download, and it's going to ask us what type of PNG do we want. Do we want the solid color for the background, or do we want it transparent? And for 99% of the time, I am choosing transparent, especially for apparel. If you're doing pop sockets or something like that, then you want to keep that background. For what we're doing, though, we want to not have a background in there, as the color of the garment that we are printing on is going to be the... Now that that has downloaded, what I'm going to do is open up Merch by Amazon and use the uploader tool to show you guys how to upload this very quickly to Amazon as well. Now, I used to show you guys how to do every single product, and if you're interested in that, again, it's in the playlist. But for this one, as I've been talking to people just starting out recently, they're saying that they're just doing t-shirts, and they're just doing t-shirts for .com and .uk, as that's the easiest for them to wrap their heads around. So that's what I want to show off here. In future, if you guys want to see, otherwise, then definitely let me know in the comments. But for now, this is what I'm going to be showing off. So if you've never uploaded anything to Merch by Amazon, it's fairly straightforward. You're going to click on the product that you want to upload a design on. It's going to open your file explorer and do downloads, because that's usually where I'm uploading things from. But my post is in my downloads, so I'm going to go ahead and hit open, and that's going to put that right on the shirts, as we can see. Now, because I only have t-shirts selected in my selected products area, all these other ones are kind of grayed out. But what that leaves us with is the ability to edit the details for this shirt, which means we can edit the colors. So this is obviously the last thing that I was uploading on was probably a light color graphic, but as this is, a dark color graphic, but as this is a light color graphic, we're going to be choosing black and some other colors that this design would look good on. So I think those 4 are good. I usually try not to pick more than 5, and my general rule of thumb is to stay, with one color in a color family. So, if I'm picking Kelly green, I would not also pick grass green, as that could just lead to some confusion for the customer. Even if my design looks great on both of them, I would just pick one green and call it good. As far as price, there are definitely a lot of pricing strategies, but for us, we've been leaving it at $19.99 for probably the last year and a half or so, and really happy with the results that we're getting there. We do think that's a fair price to charge, and you're making a decent amount of money from the royalties on $19.99. Now, as I scroll down, the very last thing we have to do is fill in the product details area. And again, there's a lot of strategies for what you can do in this area, but for the simplicity of what we are doing here, I'm going to make up a brand name. And I'm just going to be thinking about the type of person who would wear this shirt, and Crazy Cat Mom is kind of the first thing that comes to mind. So I'll type that in, and then I usually just add some unique word like apparel or company or something that means that you would separate yourself a little bit from the competition, in case anyone else types in this exact phrase, Crazy Cat Mom, which is not 100% original idea, but we want to put apparel on there, as it's more of a unique word that would separate us and mean that we're not using the same brand as somebody else already out there. For our design title, this is something we've taught on a lot, and I'm actually just going going to go and take, this sorry I have plans with my cat, exactly how it showed up for the autofill. So if you guys remember, when I was typing this in, it does autofill, which means that customers are coming to Amazon and typing in this exact phrase. So us using that as our title is a good indication that we will have some traffic looking for this exact thing. Again, there are lots of strategy here. This is something that Stephen actually enjoys teaching on because, it's something that has been a reason that we can have success with this business. And so we will be talking about that more. If you're interested, actually let us know in the comments again if you are interested in seeing how Stephen's doing the research. He's working with several other people, teaching them and doing like small groups and consulting and things like that right now. And so we might bring some of that to our YouTube channel, as I think that would be helpful for you folks as well. So that's what we're going to be doing for that. Again, keeping it fairly straightforward and simple here. No, this is not the most robust listing that we've ever made in my life, but what this does allow us to do is to get something up on market and test our ideas. And if that is something, if you're like me, where it was hard when I very first started to even just wrap my head around exactly how to do that, that is why I'm making this series of videos, to show you guys that you can do this, you can do this quickly and efficiently, and you can have success doing things this way. And if you're having success doing things this way, I would implore you to try to beef up these listings, make them more robust, and we are happy to come alongside you like your true WingMan and teach you guys how to do that, or at least how we've had success doing that in the past, and what some of our strategies are for moving forward as well. So that is it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed seeing me do that again. It's been a while, so I was a little shaky on some parts there, but I'm going to leave all that in so you guys can see our progress that we're making here on YouTube as well. This is something I want to get back into the routine of. I want to hear what you guys think of it. Some areas that you might want me to focus on next time, like exactly why I'm choosing the type of art that I am, or maybe going more detail of the keywords and things like that as well. We're more than happy to teach. Again, we've learned a lot of lessons in this business. We're going to be doing this, a lot of teaching in the next year on Shopify and other things, but we don't want to lose, how you can start this business. And I think showing off how quickly and efficiently you can make these listings is a big help. At least that's my hope. So I am going to link the playlist that I've been talking about through this whole video. I'll try to make a card, as that's my 1% better for this week. And I'll also be putting it at the end of this video if you guys want to click it there as well. So thank you guys for sticking around watching this whole video. We appreciate you guys. We're excited for the next couple of weeks, as I'm going to bring Stephen on camera with me and talk about some topics that, I think are important as the year is starting to wrap up here. And we're very excited about 2020. And again, I hope that we can be your wingman in 2020, help you guys out with this business, and in all things that we're doing inside of the print on demand world. All right, guys, until next time, I'll see you around.